is imminent.
We're just leaving our little campsite out of Stanage Bay, and the rain's chasing us out. Because today's meant to be the big rain day. And there we have it. We're out of the really gnarly stuff, and now we're on the main track, heading out to the road. Heading back towards the Bruce Highway. We're on the Stanage Bay Road at the moment, and the storm front is right out in front of us, and we're driving straight into it. This track's about 100 kilometers of dirt road, so something tells me we're not going to make the Bruce before that storm hits us. There's our storm front. We're nearly on top of it. We're in the thick of it now. It's hosing down. Forecast for the day was driving rain and strong winds, so we hightailed it out of Stanage Bay, heading for the bitumen. Once we hit the bitumen at the Bruce, tensions eased, but the rain didn't, so we continued to travel in a northerly direction until we hit the major regional center of Mackay, and that's where we grabbed ourselves a hotel room and holed up for the evening as the rain persisted all night long. Well, the last update that we had, it was pounding down with rain and we were flying down a dirt track. So we find ourselves now in a hotel room. What exactly happened, honey? How did we get here?
So we're in a motel room. It absolutely rained the entire day.
It sure did. So we said, you know what, rather than camping out on a promontory in the middle of the ocean somewhere when it's hosing down with rain, we'll go luxury.
And we ordered in pizza, and we just had breakfast in our room.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So the plan this morning is we're going to head out to Notch Point, which is about an hour south of Mackay. So we're actually going to backtrack, but we'll head out to Notch Point and we'll check it out there. So that's probably going to be the end of the update until we get out somewhere where there's some amazing scenery rather than 4 plaster walls.
Yeah, I hope it's dried up. It is still saturated outside.
We're on the 4-wheel drive track into Notch Point. You get a 2-wheel drive down here so far.
Quite a few big puddles from the rain.
There has been, yeah.
Campers down
It's not look like it's full of mozzies. Look at this guy. He's the king of the castle with his king's tent.
It's even here.
It is a pretty beat up trailer, isn't it?
Yeah. That's pretty rough. Doesn't look like something a 200 series would have.
No, that's true. I have to agree.
Beware of crocodiles. I know people are here. Crocodile sign right there. There's a slab up here. It's a fire pit. You get desperate. King of the hill. That's what else. Oh my god. That just shot it.
Okay, let's think about this.
You gotta look at
The awning. Here we are at our camp at Notch Point. This is looking out our front door. And if I spin around, there's camp right there. What do you think about this particular camp, honey?
It's very nice.
It is. It's very grassy. It's clean.
It's very populated.
Very
Maybe the
populated.
only negative.
Yeah. That's exactly. That's the only
It's,
negative. You got
you know,
lots of cars
it's like
around.
having
We came up over that hill this morning, so the track's on the back side of the hill. And there's our setup, right on the water's edge. Not too shabby at all. Just sitting here enjoying an afternoon drink. And here's something you don't see every day. A sea cow. Apparently they come in every afternoon, graze, and then bugger off for the evening. But that's pretty cool. I don't know why, but in my head I don't associate cows and oceans.
What do you see, Terry?
I see a beach cow, huh?
We have a cow and a boat on the beach. A few cows have wandered in for a feed.
What's that in front of you there, hun?
A gerbil.
A gerbil? I don't think so.
Probably come down and go, oh, looking where everyone's camped each night. They don't care. Different people all the time.
I think you're giving him too much intelligence, hun. The following morning we woke to a beautiful sunrise on Notch Point. Because we had such a short drive to get to Cape Palmerston, our next location, we had a very relaxed morning and a very relaxed breakfast. From Notch Point, it's a simple drive north to get into Cape Palmerston. Around about this location is where you want to drop the air down out of your tires because not long after you're going to be hitting the beach.
Airing down the tires again for the 100th time. We're on the edge of Cape Palmerston National Park and we got some beach driving to do, so we got to drop the tires down.
Today's drive will entail a beach run all the way north up to Cape Palmerston itself, then a small drive to this other promontory, and then a return trip back to a camp on the beach at Cape Palmerston. Beautiful. Campsite right at the very end. This might be one of the ones they were saying are nice, but you could get blown off the hill if it's windy. Stunning. Looks like there's some nice little beach camps down there. We'll have to check them out. At the moment, we're running up to the very tip of Cape Palmerston. We're in the national park now. So you got to do a little beach run to get to this track. Once you get to the end of the beach, you hit this little dirt track. It's amazing. Just look at that view. Look at that. That looks like a date palm. Right on the corner there. We're heading down into Clark Bay, it's called.
This could get pretty.
Here's our beach. Clark Bay.
It says Clark Bay on the sign.
Oh yeah. So it does. Clark Bay camping area. This is as far as you can get up the beach, because then you get this rocky headland.
Here's some video of me driving along the beach so Terry can get some drone footage.
After our little stint at Clark Bay, we turned back around heading south towards the main Cape Palmerston camp area. That's a series of camps that are basically in behind the dunes along the beach. Wonderful little area, a little bit blowy at times, but hey, at least the wind keeps the insects away.
It's like up there.
It's going to connect back up to the track, I suspect. After scouting out a few different camps along the beach, we found one that suited us perfectly and pulled in for the rest of the day. This one. Does it get any better than this? pulled up at our campsite on Cape Palmerston. Reasonably stiff breeze, it's about 15 knots. But my, oh my, what an amazing place. Check out this for a campsite. There's the Beer Ferry. Let's stop filming. Jill loves beach filming.
Okay, Terry, what have you got?
I got a smashed crab.
Sharon, Kimby. Let's see the other side of your smashed crab. Terry's smashed crab.
We went for a little walk on the beach. And look at it back in. We awoke to a dead calm morning with the sun just peeking over the horizon. I love this time of day, even if it can be a struggle sometimes to get out of the warm bed. I sent the drone up to try and capture some morning footage before firing up the stove for a coffee and some brekkie. I'm glad I did because the imagery that it captured really was stunning. Because we had such a great time in the park yesterday, we decided to stay another day, which raises two very good points. Firstly, although we plan an itinerary, it's never so stringent that we cannot pull up for extra days when the feeling hits us. This was absolutely one of those instances. The second point is the number one overarching reason we have chosen this as our camping setup. We can dismantle our camp in under 5 minutes, explore for the day, and then set it back up in under 5 minutes. We have all the creature comforts you could ask for, a warm bed, a hot shower, cold beers, great meals, everything is there. How many times have you seen camp setups that take hours to set up and take down? And how many times does that influence people to not actually go out and explore because it's too much of pain in the backside to break camp? And no, I will not tow a trailer. In my opinion, it restricts me too much in the locations I can get to. Take Stanage Bay in the last episode, for example. You would not have got a trailer into that location. So with that one decision of towing a trailer, I would be limiting my options immediately. Not something that I'm prepared to do. So that's exactly what we did. We pulled down camp, we explored the western side of the peninsula over to Cape Creek, and then we traveled back to the East Beaches to explore a little bit more and find a new camp. Following morning, just driving around Cape Palmerston tracks, and we found a 100 series that doesn't appear to be moving too far. It looks like it's been raped and pilfered too. Still got a rego
still
plate.
have a rego plate. That's amazing.
Stolen and ditched out here.
We're on the Cape Creek track, just about to get to the Cape Creek camp area.
And we found this abandoned 100 series. And it looks like the fools have got to it and smashed out windows. But that's what happens when you get off the formed track. She went down. I think the only thing that's prevented it getting raped and pillaged of all its gear is the fact that people don't want to walk out into the pus. Still got a rego plate on the back of it, but the front one's gone. Looks like it's been looked after. You know, there's the oil filter and fuel filter have been replaced reasonably recently. Still got some decent batteries on it. It's got the belt sticker on it for the 1HZ motor.
Just don't touch it.
Yeah, inside's pretty trashed. And it was a smoker's car. Woo-wee! Not long after, we ran into the local constabulary who were actually looking for the vehicle. We passed on the GPS coordinates to them and learned that the vehicle was reported as stolen. However, they seemed a little bit suspicious with that report. Anyway, they got what they were after and we went on our way.
Put guideposts to try and keep you from going off into the swamp.
Into the swamp, yep. Cape Creek camp area. Tide's obviously out. And there's quite a few mud banks around. And where there's mud banks and mangroves, there's snapping handbags. Yes, crocodiles. This is one of the many campsites on Cape Creek. Not a bad little spot here. My only question would be, would there be midgies and mozzies because it's so boggy here? Possibly. We're not going to stay and find out. We're going to go back over to the ocean side and camp over there. But this place does have its beauty. Dead low tide by the looks of it.
Sure is, isn't it? You can still see Mosquito Hill.
Yeah. Back on the eastern side of the peninsula, we had a very leisurely drive along the beach. It was wide, hard-packed, and the tide was out, but on the incoming. We enjoyed scoping out all the campsites along the way, looking for the best spot to pull up and spend the evening. The police that we met up with earlier regarding the 100 series told us of a dude that was bogged on the beach just during general conversation. They did not give any more details. We thought it strange at the time because the beach is so wide and very hard packed at low tide. Not long after, we happened across these very strange wheel patterns in the sand leading up to where we found a Holden Colorado that indeed appeared stuck. We pulled up to offer assistance, and Gus, with his new wife and bub, said they had called RACQ for help and they were on their way, but they could not provide an ETA. We were a little worried about this as Gus was bogged below the high tide line and the tide was coming in fast. We climbed out of our cruiser to check out his situation and found this.
Unfortunately, we met up with a young couple who sheared off the wheel studs. And the wheel went flying down to the surf and he barely got it before the Crocs got it.
Hit subscribe so you don't miss the conclusion to this story in our next episode.